Everybody stop where you're at.
Just seconds after making contact.
Have a seat.
They couldn't wait and just pull up and jump out and grab this man.
Phoenix police officers scuffling with, then forcing Tyrone McAlpin to the ground.
Taser.
McAlpin, who is deaf and has cerebral palsy, appearing...
Now let's remember, the call was a trespassing or a fight call at a convenience store. The initial call, they were looking for a white female. And then they called back and said, no, it was a white male. And he was about early 20s with gray shorts, gray shirt and blue shorts. So this does not seem to be a white male. This seems to be a black male. That's, I don't know, a clue.
Confused.
Put your hands behind your back.
As officers shout commands. In this body cam footage from...
Arms around his throat. That they let her lie and say he didn't think he did.
August 19th, provided by his attorney. Officers repeatedly punching McAlpin's head, then tasering him 4 separate times. The officers, Benjamin Harris and Kyle Sue, were responding to a call of an altercation at the Circle K.
Punching him over and over, tasing him, and then they'll get on the stand and lie about it. Who's surprised about that? Phoenix? Nobody.
Convenience store, according to police reports provided by McAlpin's attorney. The caller reportedly indicated the aggressor was a white male who refused to leave the store. And when officers questioned that man on scene, they say he accused McAlpin of trying to steal his bike and punching him.
You're saying that's the guy that's right there.
Randomly points across the street to somebody. Yeah, that's the guy. Does this one, this idiot, or this one go back in the store and say, hey, you know anything about this? They ask people that work there. No, they're going what this guy's saying because they ain't got time to do a real investigation.
In response, officers rushed to detain McAlpin, but his lawyer tells NBC News both policemen failed to use
They couldn't wait to get out and grab him. Due diligence, they used nothing. They jumped out, they grabbed him, they threw him to the ground, they beat him. They tased him. Why? Because they can. Because they have qualified immunity and they don't give a shit.
Diligence.
At no point do you believe that proper police protocol was followed here?
No.
That's correct. The reason for the contact with Tyrone McAlpin is supposed to be just to investigate what happened at the Circle K.
They weren't trying to investigate anything. They're trying to get there on the call and be done with it and go sit in a parking lot somewhere and fucking chat for 3 hours and then go home.
What Officer Harris does instead is he doesn't activate his lights. He leaps out of the car, and when you watch his body...
Immediately jumps out of that truck, grabs him, tussles with him, and throws him to the ground. You'd think a clue might be when he jumps out and grabs him and throws him to the ground. This guy doesn't say anything. Normally, people would be like, put their hands up, hey, what's the problem? What's going on? This guy says nothing. Might be a clue to the fucking idiots that he had something going on.
Camera. You see his hands going forward, outstretched, grabbing Tyrone. All he had to do was step out of the vehicle and give Tyrone a chance to respond to him.
It's not clear that the officers knew McAlpin was deaf when he was first...
It's not clear that the officers knew. Look at this one with the sunglasses on. Mr. Tough Guy standing over there, just can't wait to hit him and tase him. It's not clear they knew. They didn't give him a chance to let them know anything. 1 second of pulling that truck up, stopping, turning and say, hey buddy, can I talk to you? And then when he didn't reciprocate, maybe they might have thought, did he hear us? Is there something going on? They don't care.
Approached. His wife arriving moments after the confrontation, trying to explain her husband's situation.
What kind of disabilities do you have?
He's deaf and he's got cerebral palsy.
Saying she was FaceTiming with McAlpin before police moved in, using sign language to communicate.
How is he deaf if you've been on the phone?
How's he deaf if he's been on the phone? I'm stupid. I'm gonna ask a dumbass fucking question because you can FaceTime, moron. You can actually look at somebody and sign over a phone.
Because I know sign language, that's why.
Officers at one point even threatening to detain her.
Mom, over there on the sidewalk.
over there on the sidewalk or you're going to go to jail. Yeah, they want you to get out of the way so they continue to beat him and throw him in a car and take him to jail because he didn't listen to him, because he couldn't hear him, because they didn't bother to find out that he was deaf. So you go on that sidewalk and you do what they say, they're going to take your ass to jail because they don't care.
Or you're going to go to jail.
McAlpin's been charged with 3 felonies, 2 counts of aggravated assault on
2 counts aggravated assault, 1 count of resisting arrest, because he couldn't hear what they were saying. So they're just going to throw everything at him, see what sticks, and put him in jail because they don't care.
the arresting officers and 1 count of resisting arrest. The 2 officers both reporting injuries.
Broke my hand. Did he bite you? Yeah.
In response,
He broke, I think on his left hand, his pinky, maybe the pinky in the next one, hitting him in the back of the head. He broke his finger. Later, he's going to go to trial and he's going to lie about that.
to questions about officers' actions, Phoenix police said in part, the incident is the subject of an ongoing internal investigation.
Now, let me break that down for you. This incident is a subject of an ongoing internal investigation. What's going to happen is they're going to investigate themselves, and they're going to find that these officers didn't do anything wrong, because they're going to say, well, they didn't violate any policy. How were they supposed to know he was deaf?
The Maricopa County attorney now reviewing the charges against McAlpin, saying in part, I believe this case merits additional scrutiny.
I believe this case warrants the idiots going to jail, that being the 2 cops.
Tyrone spent 24 days in jail as a result of these charges before he could
24 days in jail because the tyrants couldn't admit they were wrong.
make bail. And he and his wife have a 6-month-old son. He's afraid to go outside. He's afraid to walk the streets in his neighborhood, and no American citizen should ever have to
That's what the cops want. They don't want you to come out their house. The more people stay in their house, the less work they got to do.
feel that way because of the actions of police.
And tonight, regarding those 2 police officers in question, Phoenix PD staying tight-lipped about their current status, not sharing whether they've been placed on administrative leave.
Tight-lipped about their current status, which means what they're going to do is they're going to keep saying, we're investigating. This is going to fall from the headlines. Something else is going to happen that will take precedence over this. This will go away. They will go about their job. They'll keep drawing taxpayer salary because they don't care.
Or if they're continuing to work patrols. And some important context here, Tom, is that Phoenix Police Department is just a few months removed from the results of a Department of Justice investigation. This lasted 3 years. It was released back in June. And what it found were several concerning things. Number one being that communities of color were disproportionately targeted. It also found several examples of excessive uses of force. In response to that report, the city of Phoenix acknowledged that it needs to take measures recommended by the DOJ.
But what measures will they take? They won't take any. They'll say, we're taking all this into consideration. We're looking at it. The Department of Justice, they have some good ideas. And then they'll do nothing because they don't care. What these 2 cops did to this man, black, white, or indifferent, doesn't matter. Oh, they followed policy. They did it. It's bullshit.
And it has promised a greater level of accountability as well.
A greater level of accountability? There's no accountability. There is 0 accountability. As long as they have immunity, they don't care.